English language. In the last lecture, we studied two activities from icebreaker section of poetry. In the second section, I had also told you there are two more activities in the icebreaker section, and you solve these activities as a homework from the text. In the second section, I had also told you tomorrow we will begin the actual poem Song of the Open Road, written by the American poet Walt Whitman. So before we start the poem Song of the Open Road, written by Walt Whitman, it is necessary to tell you how many marks are allotted to the poetry section. So students, in the board question paper, out of 80 marks, 14 marks are allotted to the poetry section. Out of 14 marks, the first question based on poetry carries 10 marks, and the second sub-question based on poem carries 4 marks. The question that is based on poem will have 5 activities. The activities I have already written on the board for your information. So let us see which are these 5 activities. The first activity is global understanding. So in this activity, the question, the activity like complete the following wave with the help of the extract, or find out the statements which describe the theme of the poem. So there you will have 4 statements. Out of 4 statements, you will have to select 2 statements which describe the theme of the poem. So let me also clarify one thing to you. As we have 8 poems in our syllabus, out of 8 poems, these 2 questions will be set on 2 poems out of 8 poems. So in the first question, you will have 1 poem out of 8 poems, and in the second sub-question, you will have different, one more extract from the another poem for the second sub-question. So in the first question, actually the question number based on poetry will be number 3. In question number 3, you will have 2 sub-questions, A and B. Okay. In A question, you will have 5 activities below the extract of the poem. So the first activity that can be said is that global understanding. In global understanding, you may have the activity like complete the wave, or describe or find out the statements which describe the theme of the poem, like this. Let us come to the second activity. The second activity is like analysis, inference, interpretation. So in this activity, you may have the question like this: give reason, interpret like this. And all these activities carry 10 marks. It means each activity carries 2 marks, and altogether the first sub question, that is A, carries 10 marks. Let us come to the third activity, that is personal response. It's very important activity because the students are expected, suppose, to write each and everything in the answer of the third activity on their own, because the title of the activity, personal response, itself clarifies whatever you are going to write as an answer in the third activity will be your own contribution. You must not copy a single word or a line from the given extract of the poem, because it's a personal response activity. This activity requires your own response. So you keep in your mind, in third activity, personal response, each and every word, whatever you are going to write as an answer, will be your own contribution. It will be your own creation. Okay. Then come to the fourth activity. The title of the fourth activity is poetic device. It's also very important activity because when the poet writes poem, he makes the use of number of poetic devices to make his or her poem effective, and it must give pleasure after reading the poem. So this is the purpose behind using number of poetic devices in the poem. For example, if you go through the poem, you will find out number of figures of speech in that particular poem. So this activity is based on poetic device. The students are asked in this activity, find out the figure of speech in the following line, or you may be directly asked, find out one line or 2 lines of the figure of speech, alliteration, repetition, simile, metaphor, personification, antithesis, apostrophe, and so on, because there are a number of figures of speech which are normally used by so many poets in the poem. The last activity is poetic creativity. So in this activity, the students are supposed to compose their own lines related to the theme of the given poem. It is possible that in the last activity, in poetic creativity, already 2 lines will be given in the activity sheet, and the students will be expected to create their 2 more lines below the given lines. So this is how the last activity, poetic creativity, can be attempted. So in this way, we have discussed the 5 activities that can be said below the extract of the given poem. Now let us come to the second sub-question, that is appreciation of poem, which carries 4 marks. It's also very important question based on poem. So let us see what is appreciation of poem or poetic appreciation.